How's it going?
It's going well, Charlene. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. I'm excited to talk to you again today, and we're going to talk about the interest rate decrease
Mhm.
that was announced yesterday, 0.25. Yay!
Yes, absolutely. And the Bank of Canada, to nobody's surprise, did decrease our rates by a quarter point yesterday. And we're expecting more, which is excellent. We're expecting another quarter point in April. And some of the top economists are saying we might even see a June rate. Another half a point drop, I think, will really spark more buyers' interest and also help with qualifying. When we're starting to qualify people at 5.8, when we've been qualifying them in the sixes for the last few years, it's really going to help push up affordability and bring more buyers to the market.
This is good news. So again, we're doing a little bit of math here. So from what I understand, and we've discussed this before, it's $25 per $100,000.
$16.27.
It's something.
Exactly.
Okay,
Yes. And then if
so
you have $1 million mortgage, I mean, that's adding up. If you see 25 in January, 25 in March, and then another 25 April, June, that's a whole percent down and a lot of money put back in homeowners' pockets, as well as helping with qualifying people on lower interest rates.
right. So this, I mean, is a good thing. From what I understood and what I've been listening to, they're saying a 0.50 drop in April.
I would hope so. I don't
That's
know. I mean, economist, that's interesting. Economist is the one job that you can be wrong so many times, but yet you're still going to be employed. It's so hard to say because there is still that wild card factor that we just don't know how it's going to play it over the next month and a half. I would be surprised if it's half a point drop. I really hope I'm wrong and it is. I think a quarter is more realistic.
so it's economists and weathermen, by the way, weather
Yes,
people, right?
exactly.
They can still be wrong and still have a job. So, yeah, I understand what you're saying. Tariffs, interest rates, whatever's happening across the border, what's happening here, the whole premier going to Washington to discuss these tariffs thing. I
Yeah.
get it.
Yeah, it's so hard. I mean, the biggest thing that's going to be hit right now is aluminum and steel, and that could affect quite a bit of jobs within our province, unfortunately, and across Canada. That could definitely have a play in our decision that the Bank of Canada makes in April, that we see a half point versus a quarter. But again, who knows? I mean, tariffs are here one day and gone tomorrow.
Right.
So can't predict.
Oh, yeah. So, what are we looking at? I know it's March break, and you and I were discussing earlier, it's a little bit quiet right now. That's because of March break.
March break, but also you look at February and all of a sudden people had a 5 day weekend with a snowstorm and then the PA day, family day, and really they only were getting back into it for a couple weeks and then we have March break, not to mention all the snow we've had. People
Mhm.
don't like buying houses in the snow and when there's not a whole lot of time to make decisions. I'm expecting that, you know what, April will start to ramp up, but I'm really expecting a busier late spring, early summer market.
Late spring, early summer. So we're talking like the end of March into the end of April sort of thing.
Yep, that's what I'm thinking. I think by then we'll see more buyer confidence, especially if we see another rate drop. I think a
Mhm.
June rate drop will bring a lot of buyers for the fall market, which will be great. But I think the next month might be quiet. Just so much uncertainty right now. But
Mhm.
buyers getting more confident with another rate drop, I think will really kick off our market.
So I was out today doing a bit of a discovery appointment with some clients in Brampton. There's a lot of inventory on the market in Brampton. There's a lot in Hamilton as well. A lot of the outskirts. Not so much here in like Riverdale, South Riverdale, Leslieville, that sort of area. Those areas are still very, very hot.
They are. There is really not that many in inventory. I think there's a lot of people sitting on the sidelines just waiting to see what happens because I think it's kind of the classic Riverdale area story where we don't have a lot of inventory because people don't want to list because where are you going to go? I think
Yeah.
we need to start getting some more listings and that will happen. I mean, it's been snowing like crazy. Who wants to be decluttering and taking things out the garbage, put their home on the market in the middle of a snowstorm? So I
Yeah.
really do feel that we're going to have a stronger spring, late spring, early summer market.
That sounds good to me. And I think coming up with the interest rates announcements and stuff like that, it's going to prove to be quite competitive in
Yes.
those other areas.
Agreed. And I also think another thing is during COVID, market was crazy. We were qualifying everyone at 5.25. That's the minimum that we're able to go. If the variable rate keeps going down and we're seeing these prime minus ones that we're seeing right now, before you know it, we will be back to qualifying at 5.25, which will help bring people back to the market and also maximize affordability. Then you add in the new CMHC guidelines where you can go up to 1.5. I do think that that will make us busy as well.
Oh, yes. Those guidelines are very, very important. So,
Yeah.
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 And
A reminder for anyone who maybe doesn't know about the guidelines, you can now purchase up to 1.5 million with a million or sorry, 125,000 as your down payment and have an insured mortgage up to 30-year amortization. So that's a really big change from what we've seen in the past.
typically if you're purchasing 1.5 to have 125,000 down payment, you're mortgaging how much? 1 4 1375,
Plus your
right?
insurance premium. So you're mortgaging
Right.
1,425,000-ish.
Okay. And how much is that typically as a mortgage payment?
So that's
Approximately.
Yeah, it's a roughly about at a 30-year amortization, it's
Hmm.
about a roughly $7,200 a month payment, give or take.
Yeah, that's not bad.
25-year, it's about 76.
Okay. That is not bad at all.
No, not at all,
And
especially
if you have a
for
basement apartment,
exactly
you
what I
can
was going to say. Yep, exactly.
you can offset that amount by what? At least 2,500.
Yeah, and then you're living very affordable.
Yes, absolutely. Now, I know not everybody wants someone living in their basement, but you know what? If you can, why not?
Yeah, and even if it's just short term, you get into the housing market, it's maybe a bit of a stretch because of the monthly expenses, but as rates go down and incomes and things like that go up, maybe you just have a tenant in there for 3 years, get you through the first 3 years of owning your home, and then have the whole thing for yourself.
Right. And any news on condos? Have you been, qualifying anyone for condos?
I definitely have clients who are getting pre-approved to purchase condos. I had clients who lost on a bidding war on a condo last night. That's not a
Okay.
term that we've heard in a long time. So I do think that as a detached home and a semi in town are becoming unaffordable, the condo will be where people are starting to go back to.
Yeah, I think we're about a year to 18 months out to see that part go crazy again.
I would agree with you. I mean, any of my conversations with my condo clients that are owners right now, they're saying, oh man, like my price is down or I'm back to where I paid. But I just really feel that the conversations we're having about condos today and in 5 years from now, even 4 years from now, are going to be extremely different.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Wow. All of that sounds really neat. And I guess we can end that there. If you guys have any questions at all, Amanda and I will be happy to help. Make a comment, follow us for more information. We are on YouTube, we're on Instagram, we're on our own specific sites. So, yeah, I'll put the contact info in the show notes.
Perfect. Well, thank you again for having me on, and I look forward to our next one.
Thanks, Amanda. Have a wonderful weekend.